Well, my name is Anne Beim. I'm an architect. I live in Copenhagen. I'm a professor at the Royal Danish Academy here in Copenhagen. And I am heading a small research center called CNARC, or Center for Industrialized Architecture, and also chair of the candidate program, graduate program called Settlements, Ecology and Tectonics. Amongst the fundamental things that changed my course, or really made me study the field of theoretical architecture, which I'm very much interested in also today, is the concept of tectonics in architecture, which is an ancient concept and which has been revisited by various architects and theorists. I have tried over the years to combine also the specific practical aspects of tectonics with the theoretical thinking, which I find very hard, to be honest, and but also very challenging and very encouraging in terms of also what we look into now, as for the climate changes and new ways of rethinking architecture, construction, materials, life cycle, lifetime scenarios. From that perspective, I believe that tectonics is a fundamental field of theory that has to be further developed, and also will be sort of the core of many new ways of working, practicing, and thinking architecture. Architects are trained to work with problems. Difficult constellations of very, very arbitrary problems that have to be seen as a whole. And from that perspective, I believe that architects are very central in the future to come, because we have now seen at a general level that our society is becoming more and more specialized. We need more and more expertise and experts and documentation of what all these experts are knowledgeable about. And I believe that architects are specialists in being generalists. We need the general overview to sort of collect all these various issues that either will sort of keep on developing in silos and not being connected. And I believe what we are looking into as for the climate change and the loss of biodiversity and so forth, that we do need to see work across disciplines in new ways. And from that perspective, I believe architects are very central. When I first received the email that I was one of the laureates, I didn't believe it. I thought I read the wrong email, and then I started crying. I think I cried for about an hour, and then I was wondering why am I so affected? I do think it doesn't really have to do with me as a person as such, but it's about the history and the power of architecture and how thinking and writing affects practice and affects, of course, the next generations of architects and colleagues. And that is very honorable and this is a very, very fine dialogue which is going on right now and will go on in the future, I believe. So just being part of that was very, very emotional and touching. And then, of course, being part of a line of very, very fine laureates that have received this prize earlier, amongst them Joseph Rickwood, with whom I studied many years ago, and with whom I found new ways of thinking about architecture that also made my writing into what it is today. It was just, very, very moving.